The first sighting of Indrid Cold was on October 16, 1966, when two boys, Martin Munov and James Yanchitis, were walking in New Jersey. While walking, they saw a surreal figure standing near a fence. As they walked closer, the figure took shape. It was a tall, bald man wearing a metal green suit. And it was staring right at them with a huge grin. The strange grinning man chased them, but they eventually got away from him. Later, the boys recalled the more frightening details of their encounter. They would recall that the man in the green suit was unusually tall and had unnatural features, such as the lack of ears and a nose. UFO sightings were also reported around that area. The second encounter of Indrid Cold, or the Grinning Man, was reported by Woodrow Derenberger. He was a salesman for a sewing machine company who lived in Mineral Wells, West Virginia. According to Derenberger, on Wednesday, November 2nd, 1966, about 7 p.m., he was driving in his red truck on Route 77 in Parkersburg, West Virginia. He saw a flying metallic cigar-shaped craft. The ship traveled right by his truck and blocked the roadway ahead, forcing him to slow down to a stop. Getting a better look at the craft, he described the vehicle as resembling a kerosene lamp chimney. The aircraft was hovering about 12 inches off the road. A door opened on the craft, and a being exited the ship. Later, the vehicle climbed about 50 feet into the air above the highway. The being walked right up to his truck window. He described the being as looking like any ordinary man off the street, 6 feet tall, 35 years of age, olive complexion, dark brown hair, and wearing a glossy metallic dark blue coat. The man spoke to Woodrow telepathically. His mouth did not move. The man looked in through the truck's window and said without saying, "Roll down your window. I want to talk to you." During their communication, the man called himself Indrid Cold. He told Woodrow that he meant him no harm. The whole conversation was in Woodrow's head. Indrid's mouth never moved, and he had a smile on his face the whole time. Woodrow said he seemed very courteous and friendly. The conversation lasted about 10 minutes. Cold told him,
"We eat, we breathe, we sleep, we bleed even as you do."
Before returning to his flying craft, he said,
"We will see you again soon."
Woodrow later reported this event to the police. Woodrow's story gained popularity in the media, with news coverage and attention after the Parkersburg police were convinced of his story. A representative of the Air Force even contacted him after his accounts were documented. On November 3, 1966, during this media storm, he went on live TV in Parkersburg, West Virginia, where he was interviewed by the state police, the Wood County Airport, the city police, and the representatives from Dayton, Ohio Air Force Base. After the interview aired, an older man claimed that he too saw a figure matching the description of Indrid Cold on Route 77, trying to flag him down, but was afraid to stop. Other people claimed to see lights and fluttering vehicles at the same spot on the road. There were several witnesses that reported seeing Woodrow Derenberger stopped at the highway talking to this man, and some even saw the flying craft parked on the road. Reports poured in of strange lights in the sky and beings, all at the same time, at the same place, on Highway 77, on that night of November 2nd, 1966. Over the course of the month that followed, Woodrow claimed he was visited by Indrid Cold many times, and that he even took him on a spaceship to his planet. His wife and children even knew that this Indrid Cold was paying him visits, and they even eventually came forward saying that they too saw Indrid Cold and other strange beings. Woodrow's wife was terrified and stated that these beings were much like us, traveled in everyday cars, dressed in everyday clothes, but were not human in origin. There was even one time where Woodrow disappeared for 6 months and said that he was with Indrid Cold. This is what members of his family actually believed. He would also receive mental messages from his long-distant friend. They would come on suddenly and leave piercing migraine headaches. This story gained such media attention that locals would flock to his house all hours of the day and night and wait in crowds in his driveway to catch a glimpse of his friend Indrid Cold. Bogle Ridge is another location associated with the story. Woodrow claimed to go there to meet with Indrid Cold and go on rides to outer space. Some locals claim to have actually seen spaceships land there. Woodrow eventually decided to seek medical attention and the opinion of a Parkersburg psychiatrist. He not only leaves with a clean bill of health and absolutely no evidence of chemical imbalance or disruption, but his very doctor endures a reaction soon after their meeting. He is contacted in December by a most peculiar man. His name, Indrid Cold. He doesn't reach out by phone, but telepathically.